Have you ever considered that you might have a habit that might be destroying your personal finances? Well, today we're going to be talking about 8 money habits that are hurting you financially and how to fix them. Coming up. Welcome to the Journey of Finance, where personal finance is made simple. My name is Cedric, and here on this channel, we talk about how you can manage your money and invest your way to retirement. I upload new videos weekly on this channel to help you level up on your finances. So, if you're down to go on this journey with me, do me a big favor, hit that subscribe button and click on that notification bell so you're notified of every new video, and smash that like button down below. It lets me know that you're enjoying the content and lets YouTube know to push this in front of more people. So without further ado, let's find out what these money habits are. Habit 1, not tracking your spending. Did you know that 65% of Americans literally have no idea how much they spent last month? That's 2 out of every 3 people not knowing where their money went. One of the best ways to stay poor is to not have control of your money and not knowing where your money is going. This is a problem for several reasons. 1, if you're not tracking your spending, then you're running the risk of spending more money than you have, or running out of money before your next paycheck. 2, it's easy to swipe and forget since most of us are using credit or debit cards for purchases. In fact, we don't even have to touch our debit cards anymore to make purchases because they're stored online or in our digital wallet in our phones. That means it's easier now than ever to make a purchase online and forgetting that you made the purchase. Here's why you need to track your spending. When you physically see what you're spending on and where you're spending, whether it's through a budgeting app like Mint or you write out all your spending on paper, you're able to come face to face with the reality of your spending habits. This gives you the ability to make adjustments to what you're spending your money on and figure out how to put your money towards something that is more beneficial, like your emergency fund or into your investment accounts. So the solution? Set up a budget, keep track of all your expenses, and take control of your money outflow. If you want to know how to budget like a boss, then make sure you watch this video right here for helpful tips and ideas on how to budget. Habit 2, using your credit cards irresponsibly. This habit has destroyed many lives and relationships because it's so easy to spend money that isn't yours when you have a piece of plastic with your name on it. The irony, right? Now, I'm not one who advocates cutting up your credit card and never using it at all costs. I do think that it's situational and it depends on how you view credit and whether or not you can use consumer credit cards to your advantage. But the reality is, many people struggle with using credit cards to make purchases with money they don't have. I remember when I got my first credit card from my bank around the age of 18. I had a checking and savings account for 2 years with that bank at that point, and apparently the bank thought that it would be so nice if they can gift me with a special credit card with my name on it, with a credit line of $300. I felt empowered and I felt like an adult. Now, what they didn't reinforce to 18-year-old me was that the $300 really wasn't mine. It was money that I could borrow to make purchases and I could simply pay them back. Fast forward a few years, and with an increased credit limit of several $1,000s into my 20s, all of a sudden I felt like I had more money to spend on things that I didn't need. The funny thing was, I felt rich at the time because I was able to magically buy things, but the reality set in that not only did I have to make payments on my credit balance, but I also had to pay the credit card company interest and fees on top of that. And I was still broke. Credit cards can be used as a tool to help you increase your credit score or to take advantage of free miles or cashback rewards, but it should never be used unless you have the money dedicated to paying off the balance immediately. What I do is I use one of my credit cards to make purchases and pay some monthly expenses that is pre-planned and budgeted, and then I immediately, and the key word is immediately, pay off my purchases from my checking account since my credit card is linked to it with my bank. That way, I'm using it with money that I have and taking advantage of the rewards my credit cards give me. Now, if you don't have that type of discipline, I highly recommend that you don't use a credit card at all. It might be better for you to cut it up to protect yourself from yourself. Habit 3, being comfortable with debt. Having just talked about credit cards, this habit is very similar and will also keep you poor. Now, Americans overall are used to this idea of living with debt. We're used to carrying balances on our consumer credit cards, or we have auto loans or student loans that we have to pay off in installments. We've gotten used to this idea of carrying debt around with us, having little glimmer of hope in the back of our minds that one day this will all be paid off. Now, this habit is quite nuanced and there are many different types of debt and different reasons to get into debt. And contrary to popular belief, belief, I don't think that all debt is bad. Some debt can be used as leverage to acquire more assets and wealth, such as in the world of real estate. But that's another topic for another video. But for the vast majority of consumers, most debt is a weight that holds us back from achieving financial independence. Here's another problem with debt that gives us the illusion that we are managing it well. Most repayment structures for any sort of debt is designed to favor the creditor. When you have a minimum payment of $25 on a credit card balance of $1,000, you might feel like you have your debt under control, but in reality, the credit card company is winning because you are paying interest on your balance. So the longer the credit card company can get you to pay the minimum payments, the more money they make in the long run and the more money you pay out. Or another example is if you have loans with a predetermined payment schedule like an auto loan, student loans, or even a mortgage, you are paying mostly interest in the first half of your payment schedule. So in the end, you end up paying far more money than the original loan amount. If you're interested in how this works numbers-wise, let me know in the comments below and I'll be sure to make a video breaking this down. So what do? The best thing you can do is to make a decision that you want to get out of debt. The next thing you do is to figure out a plan of action and how to pay back your debt. For example, if you have a $1,000 credit card balance, but your minimum payment is $25, make a $300 payment instead. The sooner you can get out of debt, the sooner you can free up your money to put towards other things. Habit 4, buying things that don't add value. We've all been there. We walk into our rooms or closets and it's full of stuff that we no longer use or need. We might even have clothes in our closets with tags still on them because they haven't been worn yet. Buying things that don't add value to your life is sort of like having a trophy for wasting your money. In the West, especially in America, we have a consumeristic society where we are brainwashed through clever marketing to think that we need the latest TV or the newest model car with the heated seats in order to live a happy life. And without fail, most of the time, these things don't bring us true happiness or fulfillment because they are inherently unable to. We as human beings have the incredible ability to get stimulated over something new, but gradually the excitement wears off. Whenever we are considering purchasing something, we need to ask ourselves honestly, will this add value to my life? Or will this purchase help me make more money? I'll give you an example. I'm a filmmaker who loves camera gear and tech, and I recently upgraded one of my cameras to a cinema camera that I've been wanting for a while. Prior to purchasing, I asked myself, is this upgrade necessary? Will it add value to my life and business? And more importantly, will this purchase make me more money? After checking off all of those boxes, I pulled the trigger on the upgrade, knowing that it adds value to me and my business and will pay for itself through the work that I do. Avoid meaningless purchases that just waste your money and be more selective on what you buy. Habit 5, upgrading your lifestyle. I've always wondered why I would meet people who are considered to be in the upper middle class and making a very good living through their careers or their jobs, yet they always seem to have struggled with money. I began to notice that some of these people had a habit of upgrading their lifestyle every time they had an upgrade in their career. And this has kept them always in a loop of constantly making enough money to support their upgraded lifestyle. So essentially, there's very little difference in the upper middle class person who is struggling to maintain their lifestyle versus someone who is considered to be in a lower socioeconomic status living paycheck to paycheck. When you are starting out on your personal finance journey, one of the best things you can do for yourself is to keep your cost of living and expenses reasonably low. That way, once you begin to make more money or increase your streams of income, rather than upgrading your lifestyle, you will have more disposable income to invest or acquire more assets, which will ultimately grow your wealth. If anyone can inspire you to be frugal in your pursuit of financial independence, allow one of the world's richest people be that inspiration. Warren Buffett, world-renowned investor and billionaire worth over $100 billion as of 2021, is notoriously famous for being extremely frugal. The man still lives in the same house he purchased in 1958 for only $31,500. I'm not saying that you can't enjoy some of the luxuries in your life, but consider holding off on lifestyle upgrades until you can afford it without any effort. Habit 6, keeping up with the Joneses. This is where you feel the pressure to keep up with the Joneses next door. You know, your friendly neighbors with the nice Benz, slightly bigger house, and a pool in the backyard. It's that pressure you face when you feel like you have to keep up with those who are seemingly better off than you. Now, this can come in the form of upgrading your lifestyle just to prove to others that you are making good money, or that pressure of wanting to one-up your friends to make them feel like peasants in your presence. This will keep you broke, not only because it's a facade, but also because you are trying to impress people who either don't care about you or won't even matter in 5 years. You're getting into debt to impress someone who doesn't even like you. It just doesn't make sense, does it? Instead, I'd encourage you to live your life on your own terms, and if it means that you refrain from upgrading your lifestyle for a few years while everyone else around you already seemingly has, then you will be much better off financially in the long run, and you'll have way more peace in your life. Habit 7, saving money. You might be thinking, wait, what? How is saving money a bad habit? Well, it doesn't directly relate to you being poor, but focusing too much on saving all of your money, say like in a savings account, rather than putting that money into like stocks or index funds or even real estate, can keep you from reaching your financial potential. You see, the more money you keep in savings, the less valuable it becomes over time due to inflation. That's because every year the prices for goods and services increases while your saved cash stays the same, meaning it loses purchasing power. This is not good. So instead of keeping your $50,000 in your savings account, consider diversifying that money into different investments, such as your Roth IRA or into a down payment for your first rental property. That way, over time, the value of your investments can increase, and you might even be able to generate some cash flow through dividends or rental properties. Now, I'm not saying that all savings are bad or saving is a bad habit in and of itself. In fact, you should have some savings set aside for emergencies or perhaps savings for big expected purchases like a car or a down payment on a home. But outside of these reasons, there aren't really good reasons to save and to keep all of your money into cash. Instead, deploy your cash into acquiring assets and investments that will allow you to grow wealth and become rich. Habit 8, wasting time. On the surface, this habit may not seem to have anything to do with money, but in reality, it has everything to do with money. You see, in order to have a solid money growth strategy, your best friend will be time. I would even argue that the amount of time that you give yourself to invest is more important than the amount of money that you want to invest in the future. And that's because the more time you give your money to grow, the more it will compound and grow faster, thanks to compounding interest. That's when the money that you put in, or principal, grows in interest, and the sum of your principal plus interest gains more interest. And then the cycle continues until the momentum builds and your investment experiences a snowball effect. The longer you put off putting your money to work, the longer you are prolonging, allowing your money to reach the stage of momentum where it's snowballing. So instead of wasting time and putting off investing your money, it's best to start strategizing on how you can put your money to work. If you need ideas on how you can do that, then stay tuned as I have videos coming that will show you different ways that you can invest so that you don't miss out on the opportunity to grow your money. And there you have it, 8 money habits that will destroy your personal finances. If any of these habits resonated with you, that's okay. We're all on this journey to financial freedom, and it's never too late to kick those bad habits to the curb. That's why this channel is here to help you with actionable tips and ways that you can do that. I hope that you found this video valuable and helpful, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below if any of these money habits resonated with you, or if there are any other bad money habits that I didn't discuss in this video. Before you go, if you haven't already, hit that like button if you found value in this video, and also be sure to subscribe to this channel as I have new personal finance videos coming every week, and also share this video with everyone you know so that we can all level up financially together. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be sure to catch you in the next video. Peace.